Right everyone, WeaponCollector here. Right, so today I'm going to do a Bowie build from a machete. This is a Marbles Bolo machete, I think it is. This will be the basic shape of the blade, and what I'm going to be making is a cheaper, inexpensive copy of the, I think it's the Cold Steel 1917 Bowie or whatever it is, 18. So this will be basically that, but a lot cheaper, made from a machete. If you can get there's a Marbles Bowie machete. If you get that, you don't need to do the blade. So yeah, so that'll be what's going to be the blade. You saw the basic blade shape, and it will have the same shape handle and guard. And I'm going to do the whole thing for this, so it'll be pretty much the same. Blued blade, blued guard, wooden handles, a black sheath with a steel end on it as well. So it'll be pretty much an exact copy, as close as you can get with the stuff I've got. So the first thing I will do is start cutting the tip off of this, and then I'm going to get the paint off with some acetone. Oh, and take the handles off. I probably won't show myself taking the handles off. You can just rip those off, drill them out, whatever. But I will show you the blade shaping. Right, so that's the essential blade shape done. Now I just need to do the handle, which will be cutting off a bit here, a bit off the back, and like that for the tone. That's essentially the knife blank done, so it's ready to carry on with. So we're going to need to refine this bit a bit more later. We'll see what it looks like when the paint's off. So we've got to get the paint off now. So what you really want to do is just soak it in acetone for 20 minutes. It will start coming off straight away when you put the acetone on. So yeah, just soak this in acetone for 20 minutes and start scraping it off with a chisel. You'll have to excuse the fan is on occasionally if I forget to turn it off. I'll just give you a little idea of how hot it is in here. So, where are we now? The blade is essentially done. Later on we'll blue it and we'll refine the clip point and the sharpened swedge there. Now I'm going to do the guard. Now I ordered a piece of metal to do this, hasn't arrived, so I'm going to use what was an old throwing knife that I made. These weren't very good anyway, so this is just about the right length. It's going to be wider than I was going to have it, but I think it'll be quite nice being that wide anyway, and that'll be the exact same shape as that. So the first thing I need to do is work out where I want it to be, and then drill the holes, and then we'll shape it. So what you want to do is just keep chiseling with a screwdriver or a chisel till you've knocked out the very rough slot, and then you want to file it. Right, I'm going to attempt to bend the guard to how I want it now. It's basically all sanded ready. Bring it up a bit. It's actually pretty nice. I think that's going to look good. Yeah, look at that. That's quite a beastly guard actually, I like that. Yeah, that's about right. Because I think this one's supposed to be more of an angle anyway. It's more of a catch something. This is your guard. That is nicely curled over. So we'll just need to take these tool marks out now. And then it's ready for the hand. Right, so I've done the scales, the handles, so now I need to cut out for the tang, chisel out. So I'm going to have the tang showing at the back, so you can see it's full tang, but the front, just basically take this bit out about a millimetre on both sides. Hopefully you can see this alright. Let's have a look, shall we? Yeah, I'm liking that. That's a beast. So what I need to do now is, I don't know in what order I'll do this. I need to blue the blade, tidy up this little bit here so it's even, blue the guard, and then varnish the handle. And then I'll be working on the sheath. And the sheath I'm going to try and make like the real thing as well, so it'll have a metal bit at the bottom, maybe a bit at the top, I can't remember, but yeah, it'll be quite realistic to the real thing. I want this to be quite close to the actual cold steel one. This may be bigger than the cold steel one as well. So yeah, so I'll decide what bits I'm doing next, and then you'll see the bit. It'll be one of the ones I've just mentioned. Let's see if this will blue or not, because I have tried this with different metals before and not all metals will blue, and I have no idea which one's blue and which one's not. So let's just put some on and see what happens. Oh nice, look at that. Yeah, that's going to work lovely. Wonder if, oh yeah, look at that. This is going to look well nice. Take a couple of coats because it's hard to get it on even the first time. Right, there you go. One poor man's cold steel Bowie, basically. I'm very happy with that. It's bigger than the real thing as well. I think the real thing is 44 centimeters. This one is 49 centimeters. Blade is slightly longer, possibly the handle. There's like a bigger version. Right, so now I need to do the sheath. For the sheath I'll be using some 3mm redstone leather and a bit of thinner stuff for the belt loop. So it'll just be a case of, well, it won't fit that way, drawing round, cutting the bits out, sticking them together. Right, so these are the basic bits of the sheath. So you've got the two halves, you've got your bits that go in the middle. With the thinner bit I'll make a belt loop, which I may have to put that on now, and then once this is all glued up I'll do the metal ends. Right, this is going to be folded over, so you want to thin these edges out a bit. You can cut it, you can use a tool, you can sand it, but they want thinning out. Once you've done that, you want to glue those together. This is best done, put the glue on and then clamp it in something. Once you've got this bit stuck on the back, you want to put the holes in, or mark the holes anyway. You don't have to do it this way, but I'm going to do it with the pricking iron thing that I made. 2 lines for added strength. So this will just do the initial marks. And then I'll need to go through all the way with an awl or a drill bit. I'll probably just do an awl for these. Right, so that's the holes that side, that's the holes that side. Now you want to get a piece of sandpaper or something, whatever you want, and start sanding in a groove along those lines so that the thread will be under the surface of the leather. Right, that's this bit. This is going to be covered up anyway, but even if it wasn't, it doesn't really matter. That's the inside, reasonably flush. So now you want to start gluing on these edge bits. So this is this bit here, here, and there. Right, so that's the sheath all glued up. Trying to decide now. I think I'm probably going to have to work out where I'm going to have these metal collars. I think the one at the top will be, I don't know, about 3/4 of an inch maybe. Because what I need to do, I need to work out where they're going so that I can then add the rivets and mark where the stitching is going to stop. Because what I'm going to do, I'm going to, if I have a rivet here, I'm only going to stitch up to it. I'm not going to stitch, because what will happen is if I drill through, I'll cut the stitches. Well, I'm going to have to stop there for today. It's actually 10:40 at night. So I've got the rough bits on. This will have another plate on the back, riveted on. This will have another bit across there, riveted on, with the brass rivets. And once I know where the holes are, I can then stitch along, because I know where the holes are now, so I can take these off and mark and drill the holes. Right, so it's another day. I've took the shapes off for now, because they need to be fitted afterwards anyway. All I really needed was the holes, so I know where I'm going to do the rivets, so I can sew from there to there and stop, and you know, just in between. So what you need to do now, whatever you're going to do this with, mark your holes all the way along, and then we're going to drill those out and start sewing. So I'm going to start sewing now. So here's the thread. It's about as long as my arms outstretched, both of them, and it's doubled over. I'm just going to start on one end Start at one end and go in and out a couple of times just to strengthen that top, although we'll have a rivet there anyway. Keep it nice and tight. And then just start going in and out down the whole line. It will leave gaps. It's better if you do this with a cleared off bloody bench. Yeah, keep going in and out, and then you want to come back to fill in the gaps. So that's the sheath sewn up. Now we want to put the chape on, I think it's called, isn't it? The chape will go on, that'll be on there, and I've got to do a longer one for the back. We're getting there. This has been a lot harder than I was hoping. Doing the bands, pain in the fucking ass, to be honest. So I'm just riveting it on now. So here's one that's been put through. You basically just put them through, pin them over. So again, drill a hole, that'll go through there. Put the washer on, pin it over. Now once this is done, we can blue this and then start finishing. Right, had a bit of a change of plan with the chape and the metal collar at the top. I've had to spray them. In a way I've got a better finish though, because it means I could fill the holes and it looks a bit better. This wasn't really taking the blue very well. So what you need to do now, give this a good clean, sand the edges so they're as flat as possible. These have already been done, apart from this bit. And then you want to burnish it. And to burnish it, well, I'll show you the burnish in a second. Yeah, so you want to sand this smooth as possible, and then we'll burnish. Right, so once you've sanded this smooth, you may want to take the edges off. If you haven't got one of these edging tools, what you can do, if you don't have one of those, just sand the edge. Sort of bevel the edge over with a bit of sandpaper. So now, to actually burnish the edge, got a little bit of water and a piece of wood. You can buy these. Just want to wet the edge. And then just rub it with a piece of wood basically. Time to dye the leather. A lovely black colour. It's the first time I've ever done black dye. Yeah, they're all the same anyway, but you want to wear gloves because this will stain your skin. See what this looks like. Oh yeah, that'd be quite nice. Yeah, that's gonna look good. This dye managed to get through these gloves last time I used them, so if I've got black fingers you'll know why. Right then, there you go. One poor man's cold steel Frontier Bowie knife. Made for probably around, at most, maybe 30 quid. Maybe 40 if you bought every single thing. Yeah. Rivets, leather, the machete, you know, the wood, the bits of steel. I reckon it'd only be 40 quid for something like that. Yeah, I think that's very nice. Big as well. You know, you can see the size of that. Yeah, really happy with that. So you may see a sort of part 2 to this where I do a bit of bottle cutting, because I think this will be quite a long video already. At a later date I may add a class, but it doesn't really need the size of this thing anyway. yeah, I'm really happy with that. That's an absolute beast of a knife. So yeah, before you go, this video isn't over. There'll be a bit of footage now from a HD good camera, because this is like my shed camera, so you can see this a bit more close up and better quality. Right, so don't forget to view that. I hope you enjoyed the video. See you later.